Good morning, everyone. We're just about to go. Inspection's done. We're gonna roll over here and get some fuel. Head out. We'll get there a little bit early. Not too early, but a little bit early. Stay tuned, because we're gonna give away the hat today. It's never been worn. Not even on my head. We'll give that away later on. Probably at the end of the video. Let's go. As you can see, it is still raining. And these two places I'm going to, it's probably raining there. They load you on the inside, so that's always a good thing. I'm going to guess, since I'm going to two different places, that I'm going to have palletized coils and also cradle coils, shotgun or eye to the front, or eye to the side, sorry, one or the other. Stay tuned, because today I'm going to talk about starter companies. These big companies with the schools and all that stuff. So you guys stay tuned. I'll talk about that here in a little while after we get loaded. Excuse me. Man, I had a good dinner last night. So that Pilot that I stayed at, it across the street, it's got there's a Mexican restaurant, or a Tex-Mex restaurant right across the street, right? And I've stayed at that Pilot a couple of times, gotten fuel there a couple of times, and just haven't gone over there because of the Rona. So last night I went over there and sat at the bar and had a chimichanga, a Dr. Pepper, and some cheese dip. Man, that was good stuff, man. Reminded me of my step grandmother Maria. Reminded me of her cooking. Oh, look, I hear her one. I don't want to hear it, but anyway, reminded me of her cooking. Man, the tortillas were fresh. They not the same that we get in Arkansas. It's just not. It's good stuff, man. Left them a good tip, because the staff there was really attentive, and left them a good tip. It's called Del Rio in Lufkin. If you ever get by there, it's good stuff. But anyway, let's go get loaded. We are here, and we are checked in. It is still raining, and I'm actually getting 5 palleted coils here and 1 palleted coil a mile down the road. And then that's all going to Central State, which is cool with me, because palleted coils are a lot easier than setting up for both palleted and cradled. I can deal with that. But it's going to take a little while to get me in. Because it's raining, they want you to secure completely and tarp inside the building. So, yay. But with me getting 6 coils, that means that I'm going to have to use 2 tarps. 5 coils, I can put 1 tarp on, and then I'll put the other tarp on that 1 coil and be done with it. Well, I'm going to spread it out over the rest of them once I go get that 1 coil, because it's going to leave a lot of a lot of tarp on both sides to deal with, and I don't want to deal with all that tarp. So when I get that last coil, I'll put the tarp on the last coil and then spread it toward the front. That way, it's going to catch wind though. God dang. That's going to suck. What I might do is have them shift the coils to the back, tarp those 5, and then when I go get the other coil, I'll have them put it in the front, and then I'll tarp the front and then spread it toward the back. There we go. So you just got to think through these things sometimes. You know what I mean? Just got to think through them, man. Take the time to think through them. Heck yeah. All right, so I'm at my second pickup, and so none of these places are wanting you to pull outside the tarp and secure, because it's been raining and now it's just overcast, but they still don't want you to pull outside. So this is taking forever today. This load doesn't have to be there until 11 o'clock tomorrow. They just confirmed an appointment because they had me at a midnight appointment, which usually means that they didn't have an appointment. But I think I'm going to have enough time to get up there, or at least get really close, probably to the terminal up in Fort Smith. So yeah. So let's talk about starter companies. I'm with Maverick, and I would consider Maverick a starter company. Now, people may disagree with me on this, and that's okay. I don't care. But I would consider just about any company that it has a school in it, like Prime and Swift, Maverick. I hate to put Maverick in that same category with Prime and Swift, but it is what it is. They have CDL training there, so I mean, you can, in all sense of the terms, it's a starter company. People start their business, their trucking, careers at these companies. They're easy to get into. They'll take you with no experience at all. It's where you're going to learn your chops. Okay. Some of them are going to be better than others. I can only speak to Maverick because that's the only one I've been at. Okay. Now I hear all these yickety yak and complains about Swift and Prime and Schneider and Western Express and all this stuff, but personally, I think that you could do well at any company you start at, as long as you come in with the right attitude. Okay, and that attitude being, you're going to make the best of the training that you're given. You're going to ask a lot of questions. You're going to strive to be excellent in what you're doing. And you can do that at any of those companies. You can do that at Maverick. Okay. A lot of people are saying that Maverick's going that way. I've heard several people say it's going the way of Prime and Swift. And I think it's... honestly, I think it's a lot of the older guys that have been with these companies for a long time. They have high outlooks on these companies because they are loyal to them, and that's great, But I think any single person coming into any company can make that company what they want, as long as they're willing to work within the policies of that company. Okay. Now, as far as pay goes, there is a big difference in pay. All right. There's a big difference. People will talk about, going to Prime or going to Schneider or something and making, 36 cents a mile. All right. You're pulling dry van, okay, at most of these places, and a lot of them are advertising that it's 50% drop and hook, okay? What you complaining about? I mean, really. I mean, if you're making 36 cents a mile, but you're driving all 11 hours of your day, and you're driving at some of these companies are at 65 miles an hour, some of them are at 70 miles an hour, okay? You're, number one, you're not getting dirty, okay? Number two, you're usually not waiting on a live load. Number three, you're being able to drive every single minute of your day. When you come to flatbedding like this, the pay's going to be higher, but you're not going to. There are some days like this, okay? I'm going to be sitting in line for 4 hours at both of these places today. All right, I'm not going to get all 11 hours of my drive time in. Just not. They're going to pay me for my miles, and then they're going to pay within those miles. They're going to pay me extra for the work that I'm doing. That's why we start out at a higher pay. Tanker trucks, you know, if you usually, I don't think you're going to start out in tanker. You need a little experience with that, but tankers get paid quite a bit. You know, and it's because of what they're hauling. You know, they're hauling hazardous material and gasoline and fuel and diesel and, you know, food products and stuff like that. It's a hazardous job. And it's dangerous. And that stuff starts slopping around in those tanks, man. You go around a corner, you might lay that sucker over if you don't know what you're doing, right? So, you know, don't just look at the pay. You've got to look at the pay versus the amount of work that you're doing, you know, versus the type of work that you're doing to actually get a really good sense of how much you can potentially make at the highest levels at each one of those companies, right? So at Maverick, you know, they advertise that you can make $66,000 a year your first year. Is that feasible? Absolutely. My first full year of driving, which is coming up middle of October, and that's just driving. That's not with Maverick. My first full year, I'm probably going to make around that 70 mark, and some days I push it, some days I don't. If I were pushing it every day, I could probably make 80 this first year. Doable. You know, I'd be tired all the dang time, and I wouldn't be home at all. But it's possible, you know. And then when you do referrals and bonus, you know, that's with the bonus structure. But then when you do referrals, you know, if that's what you want to do, you want to go out there and recruit for the company, you know, you can make 95 grand the first year, more, you know. But that's up to you. It's up to you to do, you know, the best you can with the situation that you're in, and the company that you go to, and come in with a good attitude and make as much money as you can, because that's what we're out here to do, right? Right. We're going to get loaded here in a minute, and then I'm going back to Arkansas. Well, it is 5:25, and I have been here for almost 3 hours. I had to wait 45 minutes for my paperwork. Awesome. Oh, we got to be there by 11. Okay. And let's see how long it's going to take us to get to Lowell. That'll determine whether or not we go ahead and drive all the way to see if I've got enough time to get to Fort Smith or what. 6 hours and 9 minutes. got to go up 49. Let's see if there's an alternate. See what it looks like. 6 hours and 42 minutes. That'd be interstate all the way. But it's an extra, almost an extra 100 miles, so we're not doing that.
0.1 mile ahead, turn right on Louisiana 1 North.
Yeah, so 6 hours, let's just say 6 hours. Come on, new messages. Let's just say 6 hours. How many hours have I got? I got 6 hours. So that means I can get up to Fayette or up to Fort Smith. So yeah. All right. Well, guess what? We're headed to Fort Smith. Let's go. It's the random fact of the day. T-shirts were invented in 1898. Dang. They didn't start putting graphics on T-shirts until the 1950s. And they didn't become really popular until the 1970s, as far as graphic tees go. And then in 2020, Jeremy's got his own Teespring store. So go by and show me some love. You can pick you up a Truckin' Junkie t-shirt. How's that for some facts? And that's the random fact of the day. It is 11 o'clock. And I have finally made it to Fort Smith. We've got 78 miles to go. Yep. We got to be there by 11 tomorrow. So, and it's 11 o'clock. That means I'm not leaving until 9. We'll get there. Whew! I had 26 minutes left on my clock. So, let's see. It's 11. It says it's going to take about an hour. It's going to take about an hour 20 to get there. How's that? So, I know what y'all want. Alright, I had to check something. Y'all want a free hat. Alright, so I've got all the names in there. They're all I've got them all in there, you know, written up, whatever. So I'm going to mix these up and we're going to draw a name. Let's draw that one right there. Who gets a hat? Heath Morris. Heath Morris gets a hat. See? There you go. Alright, so look for the link down below. You'll see my email in there. Mr. Heath Morris. Send me an email with your address in it, and I'll send you the hat. How's that? Or you can send me a Facebook message or through Messenger or whatever, or DM me on Instagram. Any of those ways. The DM on Instagram probably the easiest. But just send me your address and I'll send you the hat. That's gonna be it for tonight. I'm tired and a little bit hungry, so I'm gonna do a little bit of editing and go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow.